I'm Augustus. I'm traveling in the United States to listen to Americans I meet and to tell them about my candidacy for the President of the United States in 2028. I'm here in Indianapolis, Indiana, a masterpiece of Indiana limestone with its grand copper-covered dome and the sweeping marble halls that have echoed with the history of the crossroads of America. That Hoosier heart is exactly what I intend to carry with me to D.C., a reminder of a place that understands the value of a level head, a firm handshake, and the steady work required to keep the engine of this country running. From the tech hubs and history of Indy to the steel mills of the region and the rolling hills of the South, Indiana knows what true leadership is. It isn't about winning a debate on stage, it's about showing up for the people who keep the lights on and the shelves stocked. This is the 36th capital of my 50+1 Capitals tour. My plan seems obvious and necessary to me, but for other presidential candidates it could be considered unnecessary and maybe even a waste of time. The plan is to visit every capital in this country over the course of about 60 days, not to give motivational speeches, but to listen. I'm here to hear about the struggles of the workers in the logistic hubs, the rising costs of childcare that make it harder for young families in the suburbs to get ahead, and the farmers from Fort Wayne to Evansville who are tired of playing a rigged game where the rules are written by and for the biggest players. Indiana is the Hoosier State, is a title that carries a legacy of hospitality and determination, born from a people who believe in common sense and neighborly support. Indiana's strength isn't just in the roar of the engines at the brickyard, it's the pioneering spirit of the life sciences researchers and the resilience of the manufacturing towns that have been the backbone of the American Midwest for generations. It's the community that understands that Hoosier hospitality isn't just a slogan, it's a commitment to standing firm together through every season. I'm standing here at the Indiana State House. Its symmetry and strength serve as a beacon in the heart of the Midwest. It's a symbol of authority, but the real power of the state isn't the stained glass or the ornate woodwork of the chambers. It's in the resolve, the belief that your state motto, the crossroads of America, is a call to be the meeting point for progress, tradition, and justice. This building stands as a testament to a state that has long balanced industry with community, understanding that a republic only stands if its foundation is rooted in the needs of the many, not the desires of the few. Lately, though, it feels like the crossroads are only open for those at the top, while the average worker is stuck in a deadlock. Indiana once led the way in defining the stability of the American middle class. Now, not so much. It's time that we make the security of families who are currently holding this whole country up on their tired shoulders the country's top priority. We're being led by people who only care about the next 24 hours, while you're focused on the next 24 years. They're focused on their bank accounts, while you're focused on feeding your family. Indiana has always been the place that makes sure the rest of the country gets where it's going, but right now, too many of you feel like you're stuck in a holding pattern. You don't need another lecture on Hoosier hospitality or the legacy of the crossroads when your current reality is a local school struggling to keep good teachers or a pharmacy bill that eats up half your paycheck. I'm here because for many of you, just staying level has become a full-time job with no end in sight. To lead in Indiana, you have to be willing to say out loud that when the people who keep America's supply chains and communities moving can't afford to build a life here, that system isn't just stalled, it's failing. To lead the whole country, you have to know the whole country, and you can't know the country from a high-flying jet, a speeding motorcade, or a gilded office in D.C. You have to marvel at the Indiana dunes looking out over Lake Michigan, admire the views along the Pacific Coast Highway, cross the mighty Mississippi, and visit the beautiful Smoky Mountains. Having lived in 7 states and visited all 50 at least once before, I think I have a glimmer of understanding of who we, the people of the United States, are. But you can never stop learning. That's why I'm visiting each state again, and why I will continue to do so both during my campaign and during my time in office. Now you might be thinking, who is this guy? As I said, I'm Augustus. I was born in New York State 65 years ago. Like you, I've spent much of my life working. I've seen presidents come and go, and industries rise and fall. And I've watched as the people who keep this nation functioning, the truck drivers on I-65 and I-70, the crews maintaining our power grid, and the nurses at your local hospital, are treated like sheep or cattle, not human beings. You may be asking yourself, is he qualified? The Constitution says I am. You need to decide for yourself what qualified means to you. To me, for instance, being qualified means working as hard as I can to help the most people possible. Think about the people who meet in the State House or in Washington, D.C. How many of them are qualified in your eyes? How many of them are working to make your housing affordable or your prescription drugs manageable? It seems to me that many representatives have forgotten the primary requirement of their jobs, remembering who they represent. They shouldn't represent the lobbyists, they shouldn't represent their party, and they definitely should not represent the ultra-rich. Your representatives and the President of the United States should represent you. Period. I stand for the people, not for corporations that treat employees like disposable parts, not for the rich and ultra-rich who treat the law as a suggestion, and not for the special interests who think their way is the only way. I believe in a land of freedom and opportunity, not a land where out-of-state interests squeeze the life out of towns you've called home for generations. Why consider an unaffiliated, unconventional candidate like me? Maybe because you're exhausted. You're sick of having to choose between generic candidate A and generic candidate B, neither of whom has had to decide between a medical bill and a grocery run. While a vote for a candidate who isn't a member of one of the two major parties can be scary, isn't it scarier to have to choose between bad and worse? Choose to vote for someone who will actually work to make your lives better. Vote from compassion, not fear. I'm headed to Frankfort, Kentucky next. I have 14 capitals and many miles yet to go. If you see me in your state later this year, don't just take a picture. Come over and say hello. Tell me what's keeping you up at night. Tell me what you want for your children. I'm Augustus and I'm here to listen. I'll see you in the state where you live. So it's a little on the chilly side for me. Him.
I wonder if it is a functional Stargate. I doubt it, but who knows?
Speak to blah blah.